Let us continue with our project, and today we'll be configuring a GitHub for our project. So let's get started, and I'm already here in a GitHub, which is github.com. And if you don't have an account, you can just go and create a new account. Let's just go and sign up, and it's really easy. A few steps you can already create your account. So I hope you guys can do it. So after you have successfully created your account on a GitHub, just come back and sign in. So we will be signing in. So I'll be using my account over here. So let's log in, and let me just use the password over here. Just sign in, and so I have signed in already. And let's create a new repository over here. Just click on new, and I'll be creating as a to do, and you can say give any name, the repository name. So I'll be using the to do, and description you can, it's optional. If you want, you can just give any description. For me, I'll just leave as a blank over here, and this can be a private or it can be a public. So if, if you make it public, that anyone can see this repositories, and they can commit or they can download your file, the project, right? But if you make it as a private, it's just for you, and only you can make a change. Or if you want to give access to other, then you have to give permission to access this project. So we're making as a public, and that's it. So just give a repository name, that should be fine, and just click on create project, and it has been created for us, and we need to just configure some of the command in our local deployment. So let's go to our PHP Storm over here, and we need to configure it. So for that, I can just go to the terminal over here, and I can directly run the command over here, or else we can also go to this project folder, just right click and open, so in a explorer over here, and just go inside this folder, and you can just right click and open a git bash over here, and that will open a git bash to this directory over here, and we can configure the command over here. So it's, let us go back over to our project over here, and we need to run some of the commands. So let's run it. The first thing is that we need to provide a, so if you want to provide, you can just provide a readme.file, or you can create a readme file, but I think we will not create, we will just go and initialize a git. So first command is get init. So just open this one and just say git init. So this will initialize a git to our this directory over here, and if we go and check that directory over here, now we don't have any folder that's with a git. So if we run this command, that's create a one folder for us with the .git. So just run this, and you can see that it has created a git repository for us in a local deployment. And so let's go close this one, and the next step is to commit. So before commit, we can check the status of a git statu status, and you can see that a lot of file has been changed, which means it's in a red color. That means the file has been changed and it has been not added to the local git repositories. So how we can add it is we can run a git add command, and we can just say dot git add dot, which means that it will add all of the files to our git repositories locally. So if you check the status now, git status, and you can see all is in green color, which means that it has been added to our local repositories. And the next thing is to commit. So we can just commit the whatever change that we have done. We have changed all of this file, so let's commit it. So git commit commit, and that's aim, which means a message that you want to give. The first message is the first commit, or you can just say initial commit, and that should be done. And let's configure this project. with the git remote. So this is the remote location of our GitHub repositories where we'll be pushing all of our files. So git remote add origin to this location. So this is our current location. If you see, the location of our project is this one. So we need to configure it. Just copy this one and just open this one and paste it over here and just hit enter. So that will configure the remote repositories for us. And next step is to push it. So when we push it, it should push all of the local file to our GitHub project on inside it to do. So we can just say git push it to -u and origin to our master. So when we use a git push -u origin means that next time whenever we push any update on this master, it will directly go and push it to the master. So we don't have to every time mention it that -u origin. It's the first time that whenever we want to configure or whenever we want to link this local branch to the remote branch, we just make use of that -u origin. So next time you can just git push and it will directly push it to the master branch. Just hit enter and that should configure some error, and it has some error unable to access the request URL encounter 404 denied. So we need to configure, because I have configured my git to another user, which is another user, so I need to change that user. So let us go and change the user and let us configure it. I think it's better we go to the IDE and configure it, because I don't want to change my default user for my project. So let's head back to our IDE, which is a PHP Storm, and here we have an option to configure it. So for that, let me just go and add some of the tools, appearance, and I'll just add a toolbar. And let's go to the version control with VCS over here, and let's make use of this one over here. We can also make use of a git over here, and but for now let's click on commit over here, and these are the file that has been changed. Commit message, or we need to, I think we have already commit previously, and I think we just need to push it. So if we go over here and go to the git and push it, so these are the file that has been changed, initial commit, and let's push it. So whenever we are pushing it, it should ask the user and a password for us to configure. So it's the username and a password that we need to configure to log into that project. So for that, let us configure our, let us set our username and the password over here. This username and also the password, and just log in. And let us try to wait and see whether we are successful on pushing it or not. So push master to the new branch origin master has been done. So I think let's go back to our project in a GitHub, and let's go to the to-do over here. And now we can see that it has pushed it. So we have pushed our Laravel project in a GitHub. So all of the files is here, and also the default Laravel readme.file. So later we'll be changing this readme file, and don't worry for now, just leave it as it is for default. So this is the first step of our initial commit on our GitHub project. So on the next step, we'll be changing our database and whatever we update in our project locally. So let's say we update anything here locally, then we'll be pushing the change to our GitHub. So this branch, currently we only have a master branch, and we'll be working on this master branch. So on the next step, let's get started with our project, and we'll be configuring some of the changes in our project before we configure or change any file over here. So let's get started on the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.